What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Quadcast, the show where we get real, get raw, and get loud about mental health, substance use, and the fight to take our lives back.
Each episode, we're cutting through the stigma, dropping knowledge, sharing stories, and bringing the heat with guests who have lived it and aren't afraid to talk about it.
So turn it up, lock in, and let's break barriers, spark change, and build a community that refuses to stay silent. You're tuned into the Quadcast, and let's get into it.
You can find us on Patreon, Facebook, Instagram, or email us. The Quadcast is always looking for new guests, whether you're individuals that have experienced it, you're in law enforcement, treatment programs, nurses, doctors, or anyone that just has something to say. Come share your story with us on mental health or substance abuse.
Warning, there's cussing in this video. If you don't like swear words, well, you're
watching the wrong damn show.
All right, so I want to welcome everyone to episode number 6 of season 2. This episode's title is Where Hope Meets Action. And our topic today is Wheeling for Hope with Michelle and suicide awareness. So our guest today is Michelle Reiser. Michelle is the executive director of Wheeling for Hope, which is a charitable organization dedicated to raising awareness, fostering community support, and benefiting the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention, along with many other impactful organizations. Through her leadership, Wheeling for Hope works to bring people together around causes that promote mental health, hope, and meaningful change. Today's conversation highlights the importance of advocacy, community-driven action, and the ongoing efforts to support individuals and families affected by mental health challenges. We are grateful to Michelle for joining us and for her continued commitment to making a difference. I'll post Michelle's contact info in the description of both videos. Michelle, welcome. Thanks for taking the time to sit down with us today and taking us through what you do and what Wheeling for Hope is. So if you want to take a minute, introduce yourself, introduce what you do on the personal side, and what Wheeling for Hope is.
Sure, Mac. Thanks for having me. And thanks for giving us an opportunity to let people know what Wheeling for Hope is. The more people that know about it, the more people we could possibly provide resources to or branch out and help with mental health, with suicide survivorship, with attempted suicides. You know, we encompass a lot of different things. So basically, I'm the executive director of Wheeling for Hope, and we are a female-owned and ran organization. All of our girls, all of us are females on the board. Doesn't mean that we don't do encompass all and everyone, because we certainly do. But then we also, of course, have female breakout events and sessions. So what we do is we host and put on events, as well as attend and back events for other people and coordinate with other organizations, anywhere from veterans organizations to our local schools, our nursing homes, things like that, and people, in the community, anywhere that we're needed in the tri-state area. And what we do is we host and promote these events and have different fundraisers and different activities, because we use all outdoor activities, from four-wheeling, side-by-siding, jeeping, target practice, fishing, all of it, as a catalyst to improve your mental health, therefore preventing suicide, or to give people a way or an outlet to be able to improve their mental health from recovering from like a suicide attempt, or if they've lost a loved one to suicide. And, all of us are depressed and anxious and go through our moments. So we can all use an outlet, and we use the outdoors here in our beautiful Appalachian region to be able to do that, to try to improve people's mental health.
Sure. So what brought you into doing Wheeling for Hope? How did you start? Why did you start that?
Yeah, so of course, each and every one of us have our own personal story of either mental health or suicide, whether we've lost someone to suicide or we've, thought about suicide before. But what really brought me into it was I was in a Jeep group and the American Foundation of Suicide Prevention, the director of West Virginia, called me and she said, "Hey, I think it's really, really cool, that you guys have this Jeep group. People really love their Jeeps and, outdoors and things. Would you want to do like a Jeep show or a car wash or something, and help us out to raise funding in our area?" There's just not very much fundraising and not much attention brought to mental health and suicide awareness in many, many areas. In ours, there's hardly any. So I said, I will, but before I can do that, I really need to know about the AFSP because I don't know about you guys very much. And she started sending me information and statistics, and it started hurting my heart to understand and to realize I know about my own tragedies, my own families, and my own friends and our struggles. But to look at the statistics, and particularly the statistics for West Virginia, and know that it's the second leading cause of death in the state of West Virginia between the ages of 10 and 34, 10
Wow.
year old babies and below. Yeah, committing suicide. And it's only secondary to the number one cause of death in the state of West Virginia, which you're probably going to answer like everybody else does. What do you think the number one cause of death is in West Virginia?
Probably car wrecks.
That's a good one. Most people try to say that it's, drugs or different things like that. It's actually the number one cause of death is a combination of all accidental deaths, fires, car accidents, accidental drownings, shootings. So they have to take every accidental death, and that's a grouping that becomes the number one cause of death in West Virginia. So for suicide, between those ages to be the second leading cause of death really tells me it's the leading cause because it's
Sure.
just one single cause. Yeah, instead of
Right.
grouping. So that hit me. It hit me hard. It hit me hard when I looked at the statistics for, I always knew that veterans, were hit a whole lot harder than our first responders, our elderly. Over 85% chance of suicide. So
Really.
many of those things I just didn't know. And it just
Sure.
fueled something in me, and Willing for Hope was born.
Yeah. So, what do you guys do actively within your coverage area for this type of awareness, prevention, that kind of thing?
Yeah, sure. So we basically, stick within the Appalachian Triangle. We do, Kentucky, West Virginia, Ohio, but we will go anywhere as needed. So for more locally, for what we've done in the area, of course, we do Jeep shows. We'll do like the Children's Miracle Network show for Walmart. We do outreach programs to where, like, I took the Jeep and set up with resources and things when they did the new field here locally for the Oak Hill High School.
Mm-hmm.
They asked me to come out, and I took the Jeep out there and parked right out there on the corner of the field and like shot ducks at the kids, got them to come over to the tent to give them resources and teach them about 988 and find out if anybody needed, any counselors or any other resources and things. I also, through my canine business, also take when I have appropriate dogs. We go to the nursing homes, my local nursing homes, and we take the dogs in and we visit. When we don't have the dogs, we still take up donations and things, and we go visit these people in our nursing homes, every room, every single one of them. We provide resources, pamphlets, booklets, posters, and things like that to all of our local schools. We also do a lot of local events if we aren't hosting an event like a Jeep show or a ride or side by side thing. We'll go and, like, for instance, we're doing Point Pleasant in March, and we'll be there in Point Pleasant with all the other vendors. And what we do is we get Willing for Hope out there, and we get people to talk about mental health and to discuss the loss of their suicide survivors. We have banners that they sign, and then we take that to our annual show, which is in June. We also provide 988 cards, discussions. 211 is a big resource in West Virginia a lot of people don't know about. It's for financial assistance when you're struggling mentally and unable to cope or to work. We do, my gosh, you ask for us to be there, and we're there.
Gotcha. So, how long have how long has Wheeling for Hope been established?
This is the third year.
Third year? I couldn't remember if it was the third or fourth.
Yeah.
So over that time period, how many donations have you made from what you guys bring in towards certain things? Do you have a number off the top of your head?
So, we've given a couple checks to the AFSP because they're just one of many of the organizations, that we
Sure.
donate to. And then a lot of times on which we've given them monetary donations to spend a couple $1,000s each time through our annual events and things. But then we take cash donations and we turn that into what's needed in our area. For instance, purchasing toiletries and needs for the nursing homes, purchasing handouts and flyers and pamphlets and offering discussions and things and buttons and wristbands and stuff to the kids in all of our schools, because 988 is also, it stands out now because it also has this wonderful text feature. And so a lot of
Mhm.
the kids and the teenagers, which were extremely affected by suicide in West
Right.
Virginia, they're able to, they usually hide behind their screen. They just don't know how to or don't want to verbalize their emotions and talk
Right.
about things. So with this text feature, 24/7, get a counselor. If you're a veteran, you press one. If you just need to talk to somebody, you press another number. If you're actually looking for active counselors in the area, you press another button. But you can just get on there. These kids can get on there and just text and have somebody to listen to them, talk to them, and have a counselor available 24/7, 365. So we try to give them things like the bracelets or the hats or the cards and things like that they can shove down in their purse, their wallet, or in their car to remind them these, 988 and Wheeling for Hope, that you can reach out to anytime and have somebody there to talk to when you feel like there is no one.
Sure. So and I don't know if you know it off the top of your head or not, but within the schools and stuff, how big of an issue is mental health and suicide?
Yeah, so for statistics in our area, and of course, we branch out that obviously there are so many schools from elementary to middle school to high school in all of our areas. But I'll tell you specific to my geared area. We have a couple a year in the high schools and a couple a year in the middle schools. We just recently had one. Pretty local to us, and we took a ton of resources over and offered to have like a pep rally for the kids, and also have some one-on-one and some discussion and stuff to try to improve those kids' mental health because of the loss of a death. It wasn't due to suicide, but it was the loss of a death of one of their friends, one of their teammates. They're in the school, so we'll go and we'll try to do different things. We will. Like you said, do pep rallies and stuff, offer the kids all the resources, let them know that we're there and that we care. Then we'll also do like Jeep rides, and you pay like a donation, and then that donation may go to the family.
Gotcha.
Mhm.
So, like alongside Wheeling for Hope, what resources out there do you see working alongside of you on a routine basis, more so than you know being proactive with it instead of reactive, more so?
Yeah, so we work with Foxhole Foundation. We work with Camp for Heroes. With veterans organizations like that, they tend to be a lot more proactive than just your generalized mental health. So we work with them a lot. And then what we'll do is we'll go and attend, and then they'll come and they'll support us and attend as well, different events and things like that. And we will do, like, for instance, Camp for Heroes. This will be our second year doing this. We go to their facility in North Carolina, and they have
Mhm.
bunk houses. And of course, it's an open retreat for first responders and veterans, but they don't have a specific female area. They don't. And as you know, I mean, it's a male dominated field. Obviously, a
Sure.
lot of first responders and veterans and things like that, it is male dominated. So what we'll do, for instance, going to certain veterans quarters like this one, is we will have a female breakout session. So they're hosting like their second annual female first responder and veterans weekend, and we'll be there and we'll kind of be coordinating and helping them host different things and taking the girls out and doing discussions, because it's easier, what we've found through face-to-face talks and through statistics, that a female that is suffering from the loss of a suicide or from mental health, particularly your veterans and your first responders, a lot of times they have suffered tragic events at the hands of males, because it is a male dominated field, or it's just through suicide, loss of a really close family or loved one, and they feel more confident and more comfortable when they show up at these veterans affairs and you have 10 men to one woman, you kind of
Right.
feel out of place.
Sure.
So we'll go and we'll have the breakout sessions and make the females feel a whole lot more comfortable and confident and get them to open up. And then they're able to actually take advantage of and utilize and use all of these retreats. Where before, a guy might go to a retreat and be like, I'm going to hang out at the bunkhouse. I'm going to clear my mind. I'm going to go fishing or do the target practice, whatever's available at the retreat. But a female's a lot less apt to do that by themselves and to go because they're already emotionally or mentally vulnerable. And so they just sort of feel a little bit out of place. So I do find that a lot of our veterans organizations are a whole lot more proactive. We also deal with AFSP. And then, of course, the nursing homes and the schools and stuff are trying to get on board to be more active, but we get no pushback, at least from the local nursing homes that I deal with. They're all for it, but they don't have any really great designated regimen for mental health. They take what they can get when people want to come by and see them. And I
Right.
also find we get pushback from the Board of Education for the schools.
Really.
I was shocked at that. Like, I've had schools tell me, no, you can't hang 988 posters up because it'll put holes in the wall.
Really.
Board of Education is terrible for trying to help these children or give them outlets and resources for mental health. Yeah.
I think that's across the board with a lot of things, honestly.
Yeah.
One question off of the comments: what can we do in this area to help? So, just say my area. What do we have to do to support, have
Yeah.
events, whatever?
Yeah. So volunteer, 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 volunteer. The more volunteers that we have, the more areas that we can reach. So if you're interested in helping Willing for Hope, or you want Willing for Hope to come to your area for an off-road ride, for an event, for a car show, truck show, whatever, all you have to do is contact Willing for Hope. You can also go to our website and sign up to be a volunteer. You can be added to our volunteer chat. So when things come up and we say, hey, does anybody want to go with us to Weston, to Fairmont, to Ohio, you can jump on board and you can volunteer. And that's at www.wheelingforhope.com on our website, or also on our Facebook page. So please volunteer. The next thing is, if you'd like to see us come in and kind of bring attention to mental health and suicide prevention, or have an event in your area, contact us again. You can find the phone numbers and all of our emails on the website or on our Facebook page. Call and say, we don't have anything like that up here in this area. We'd love for you guys to come this way. And if it's an area that we're not super familiar with, they can say, oh, this would be a beautiful place for resource giving. This would be a great place for a ride, a backwoods ride. This would be a great area for us to do car and truck shows. And we'll go and we'll do that. And if there's a local something going on there in your specific area that kind of tugs at your hearts, and you want to donate to first responders, to veterans, to the schools, to whatever, then of course we'll host events and we'll do.
I think we lost you there.
It cut me.
Yeah, you're cutting in and out. There you are.
Okay, we're back. Every time
Uh,
the phone rings, it kicks me out.
well, if your phone wouldn't ring so much.
I mean.
Uh, so, Mom said that she wants to do something in this area, as soon as possible. So, what
yeah.
is what's the I don't know, what do you see that is the most beneficial to do activity wise, or of his
So
part.
depending on what her goal is, if her goal is to raise funds for a family in that area that has suffered, a tragedy and they're suffering mental health issues, or that you guys have had a loss in the area due to suicide and you want to donate, or if she's wanting to bring awareness to the community that there is help out there, there are resources, there are counselors, there's a 988 line. So it depends on what she's wanting to do in the area. Now, if she wants to raise funds, then we would certainly come in and we would want to do something like a car show or a donation to like an off-road ride. We could also do like gun raffles. We go to so believe it or not, one of a really amazing and wonderful things to do to help your mental health, other than getting out in nature, no matter what you're doing, and reconnecting with nature, is target practicing. You have to focus. You have to be determined. You are kind of like against yourself to see if you can do better and better, and it builds confidence and steadiness. And of course, we always, we have different organizations that partner with us, like WTTA, that gives gun safety and gives gun locks and stuff, so that you take that moment and that second, if you are in a vulnerable place before you actually get that firearm. But firearms can be very, very healing and get you to focus and calm you down. And you have to be steady and take a deep breath and things like that. So we can do gun raffles. We can go to gun ranges and do shootouts and have people do them. Any event that you could possibly think of, you can always circle back around and it will benefit or can benefit from mental health. And from outdoors. So anything that's popular in your area, we can create some type of an event, then we can donate, and then you're kind of double duty in it. Not only are having people come out and go, really, what is this Willing for Hope event? Oh, it's mental health. Oh, 988. So I would say, it'd be lovely to do an event, unless she's just strictly looking at monetizing to donate to a family. We can do that from anywhere.
What does it take to do something within the schools?
Well, you have to contact the school, talk to the counselors, and the principal, and ask permission.
Oh, I'm good
We,
at that.
yeah, you have to say, yeah. I said ask permission, not demand, not call and go, guess what I'm doing?
We don't we don't ask around here.
Yeah. Yeah. So you have to have permission to be able to come into the schools, and you have to let them know what your agenda is and what you're going to be bringing and what you're going to be doing. And some of the schools are very open to that. And some of the schools will say, we don't have time for that. We don't have, well, you got time to roll in the cart and watch the television for a whole
I can be
period.
very persuasive.
Well, we need to hit this Board of Education and start helping our children. 100%. Let us come in and hang, put up these posters, give out resources, have a short pep rally. We actually have a children's book that's put out by the AFSP that we can read to very under 10, that's very gentle on discussing mental health,
Sure.
Doesn't use certain words and things like that. And, we'll sign up at the schools to go in to read books and things like that and try to talk to the kids.
Does it
So
have
really it's
small
getting
words,
permission.
big letters?
What is it?
Small words, big letters?
Don't worry, you might know. I don't know. Maybe with
Pictures?
assistance, you might be
Pictures?
able to read it to the kids. Maybe.
Pictures?
Yes, pictures.
We're
Pictures.
good.
And
I
guess
got it.
what, Mike? This will double duty with you too. So it's
Oh,
it's
man.
actually navigated or narrated by a little cartoon canine puppy.
I
Yeah.
think we could make this work.
Yeah. So at our events, what we do is we set up with the book and we'll do like face painting or bubble blowing. So it'll draw the kids over. And while they're there, we have one of the dogs with us. So kids will want to come over and pet the dogs. We read the book to them. Or while someone's reading a book to a group of kids that are waiting to be face painted, but we're kind of putting that, we're bringing it out
Yeah.
without pressuring them and saying, come and sit and let us read this book about your emotions. They're going to go, negative. I'm going to the bouncy house. So if we have all these things to draw the kids in and we're kind of just reading the book to them, we also have people behind the scenes that is like, hey, Do you need anything for your child? Are you noticing that they're being bullied at school? Would you like a resource? Would you like information for the counselors for children in your state? Different things like that. So there's so much that goes on at an event. We don't just host a car show event. We have specific things geared towards getting the word out, making people feel comfortable talking about it, and then also making them aware and putting in their mind, hey, there's always 988 and I don't even have to talk to somebody. I can text it. So, there's a whole trifecta there. We do a whole lot of different things at our events.
So do you have something that you go by whenever you would reach out to the Board of Education, something that's like typed up, just something to present them with, or?
I call and run my mouth. I do it on the cuff. No, I just call and I say, hey, this is who I am. This is what we do. Are you aware that the second leading cause of death in West Virginia between the ages of 10 and up is suicide? Well, I can offer resources. I can help. I can lift these children's spirits, in between your Christmas break and your spring break and different things. Teachers will say, we see a change in kids. They're bored. They're tired. They're getting a little bit depressed, especially in the springtime. They want to get out in nature, which is what we're all about. It improves your mental health. Don't tell me you ain't never, rolled the windows down or went and sat on the front porch and blared your music. It's all about using nature for your mental health and to calm yourself down. So, we can come in and do little pep assemblies and rallies and subliminally be getting our message across and hopefully implementing that they are not alone.
Yes, Mom, you can definitely run your mouth. Yes. Right.
Good, you called it. But no, I can certainly 100% get a format if volunteers. See, that's like if we can get more volunteers and a volunteer said, I want to contact the schools in my area, I will send them a format that they can read off of. Basic questions. If they ask, here's your answer. Here's what you can do. Here's what you can't do. Absolutely, I can send a format out to anyone who wants to contact the school and get involved, or say, hey, it's as simple as I can get resources mailed to you, 988 posters, bracelets, things like that. I can have those mailed to you. You can get with the school in your area and you can meet with the counselor, which is what we did up farther up that area that just recently had a death here in West Virginia. Get with them and distribute. All of the materials and the resources. So they have the websites, they have the links. And honestly, if you just dial 988, they will give you anything and everything on resources and say, you fit the bill to call 211, or I'm going to send you to this counselor because they are, again, a veteran, a first responder, a children's counselor, an elderly counselor. So it's just getting it out there, letting people know that it's there and giving people someone to talk to. You'd
Cool.
be amazed at these events of people that come up but out of curiosity because we have the big jacked up Jeeps and we do the car shows and we do the rides and they'll come up and go, cool, what did like you guys like a Hatfields and McCoys, and we start talking to them, telling them about what they do.
Mhm.
And I would say 90% of the time, 85 to 90% of the time, they tell us about a loss that they've had with suicide.
Sure.
Or they tell us, I mean, it's been amazing over the past couple of years actually, and opened my eyes at how many people have someone in their life that has committed suicide, or how many people themselves are struggling right now with mental health. There is never an event or an area that we attend that doesn't end up with tears and hugs and a
Cool.
breakthrough with somebody.
It's so widespread. I mean, it
It's
happens
rampant.
so
It's
fast.
crazy.
It doesn't even have to be in your personal life either. It just you see it every
Yeah.
day.
Oh,
Um,
yeah. Yeah.
that's the bad thing with it. Like, it's literally everywhere.
And even if you're not, like you said, currently struggling with depression or anxiety, or, having mental issues at the time, someone and someone in your family is. And you're having to watch them and not know how to help them get through it. So even if you're not struggling, we can give you resources and help you to help them to get through what they're going through, because you sit there and you go, okay, mom's depressed and she's having a hard time and I'm worried about her, but what can I do? She won't go to the doctor. What can I do? She won't let me make her counseling session, right?
Right.
You have people that can give you plain and simple questions, things to look out for, ideals of ways to push them to get them out of the house, to get them up, to get them to shower. So, yeah, we can even help. Like you said, even if you're not struggling yourself, you know someone that is. And if you're
Sure.
struggling, to help them.
Have you ever thought about doing like the outdoor shows, like the hunting and fishing shows, like Beckley, Summersville, stuff like that?
Yeah, right now we actually have a gun raffle that's going on, and it's for the Daria. It's a new 9mm. It's supposed to be comparable to the Glock. It was just released the beginning of 2026. We got one of the very first ones.
We don't talk about
Um,
Glock around here.
you got what? Don't
We don't
talk about
talk
Glock.
about Glock around here.
Well,
A bunch of sellouts.
well, good. Then you need a Daria. And
I don't
so
need
what we're
nothing.
doing, you need a Daria. So right now, I'm sorry, right now we're raffling that off. Once we sell 150 tickets, we're gonna go ahead and you can go to our page to be able to purchase a ticket. But and then that's leading into doing like shootout challenges and stuff at the ranges. I know one of the girls had mentioned they'd like to have like a turkey shoot type of a thing where you move up in classes and do different things like that. So yeah, we're getting involved in a lot of that. But what holds us back mostly is volunteers. We can only
Sure.
do so much with so many people. So the more people that want to help and want to get involved, volunteer, volunteer, volunteer. It just helps us do so many different things.
That's the bad thing now is nobody wants to volunteer. Nobody wants to step up. Nobody wants to help.
No.
And it leaves you shorthanded and only wanting to do more. But
Yeah,
neither
because
that.
then it's frustrating because you're the one that's doing it and you get out there and you get to see how it's helping, or you're hugging that mom that lost a child and you're getting so much more emotionally vested than you were when you started. And it's so frustrating that you want to do so many things and put your hands in the pie. And you have to have people to do that. You have to have people to be able to represent you and go and do things for you or help you so that you can branch out. So yeah, volunteers is our number one thing right now. We
How,
really, really
how many
need.
how many volunteers do you have now?
Honestly, do you want volunteers or active volunteers? Because there's a huge
Yeah,
difference.
active. Let's go active.
Active volunteers, on and off, I'm going to say probably 20, 25. Yeah. But we have, 150, 200 that want to be volunteers or that sign up to be
Right.
volunteers, but then kind of fall off. You know, we have all of us have such passion for this. We've all went through it either ourselves or with friends or family members in one way or another. And we're so passionate about it that when they see us and meet us and talk to us at events, they get this fire. Yes, you know what? My niece, my nephew, my uncle, my cousin, my battle buddy, my top friend, my and it tweaks something in them and they're like, yes, I want to volunteer, I want to do this. And if it's not in your face, you know what happens? It gets pushed back and back and back and it fades off into the background, which is another reason why we need to be more prevalent and more present and have more events and be in people's face and they go, oh yeah, I remember that 988 stuff. You know what? I think I want to do that. So the more volunteers we can get, the more we can be out there, the more we can trigger that in people and maybe, get the ball rolling and start going and start being, more present at these different events.
Sure. Uh, you we talked before we got on here that you have two events coming up in March.
We do. We're going to be in Point Pleasant in March, and we're going to be set up there when they're doing their 24-hour run. We're going to go to North Carolina to Camp for Heroes for the second female veterans weekend, veterans and first responders. It's free for anyone to go there to Camp for Heroes, and we're going to be, doing a lot of the sessions and breakout sessions. I'll tell you what we did. You're going to like this. So last year was our first year being able to do it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we said, okay, this is wonderful. We would love to help. We'd like to, like, they have things planned for female veterans like painting and journaling and things like that. And us girls were like,
Sounds like nap time.
yeah, we were like, listen, these are soldiers. These are our soldiers, our first responders, down in the nitty gritty, the face of the worst of the worst. So, you know what we're going to do? We'll keep the counseling, we'll keep the painting, but we are going to bring in a counselor, do free Reiki sessions and counseling sessions. You're going to paint up an empty milk jug however you want, put cuss words on it, put something that you want to let go, put something that you want to share. Okay. We crushed up chalk, colored chalk, put some colored chalk on the bottom of the jugs. We did our counseling session. If you wanted to read it and share it and talk about it, great. If you didn't, you didn't have to. We stuffed it down in that jug. Then we did what you're supposed to do with first responders and veteran females. We took them to the gun range and we strapped tannerite to it and blew that shit up. That's what we did. So things, yeah. So that was incredible. And so we're going back again this year. We're going to do something a little bit different, but we're still keeping it. Girls like mud too, and we like to shoot guns and hunt and do all that. So we're going to bring that around this year as well.
Sounds fun.
Oh, super fun. We have a blast. I mean, how could you not have fun when you're, hanging out with the Will and Hope girls anyway? Come on, Mac.
Well, I mean, I can think of a few reasons.
Don't listen. I thought we were going to be nice to each other on this podcast.
No, you said you were going to be nice. I never agreed.
Don't make me bring up the forehead.
You just did.
No. Just saying.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Yeah, I hear you. But
yeah, it's
you want
all
to kind of
about
go
the more
over your
people.
event in June?
Yeah, June 27th is our annual. It's the second annual in Weston, but this will actually be like the coming up on the fourth year that we've had an annual big event in Weston. And it is, gosh, vendors, car, Jeep, antique, motorcycle shows, bouncy houses for kids, of course, all of the resources and things, foods, crafts. I think we're going to do another kids obstacle course this year that they can bring their bikes and their ride-ons and stuff on and enjoy themselves. Lots of prizes, raffles, and an auction.
Cool.
Yeah. That's June 27th at Weston.
What kind of vendors are you looking for?
Right now, we've actually we're getting quite a few, but we still have openings for craft and food. But our outdoor adventurous girl who plans all this, Tiffany Drake, she has the list because she doesn't want to double up on like certain food vendors or on certain craft
Oh.
vendors because obviously we want them to make money and be the only ones selling XYZ and have a variety. But I know we are still open to craft and a few more food vendors.
Gotcha.
Yeah, we do need some fair foods for sure. Somebody that does like corn dogs, cotton candy, candy apple, like fair food. What are those things called that you can put all the stuff on? It's deep fried. Put powdered sugar on it.
Funnel cake?
Funnel cake. Yeah, we need funnel cake and
Yeah.
stuff like that. We need fair foods for sure. And then, of course, we always need more craft vendors.
That one was easy.
Yeah. And well, it wasn't easy for my brain, apparently. You have a bigger forehead. You should have a bigger brain.
Now I know why your husband just apologized to me.
He loves it. It's fun. You love it too. It's all good. And when I
never
say
said that.
craft vendors, it doesn't have to be like handmade crafty vendors. We want people, like if they want to come, it's going to be an all motorsports show. So if you have a particular, I don't know, if it's BF Goodrich, if it's I do tint or I do custom ceramic coating or stuff, come on. We want to offer everything at this motorsports show.
I've got a couple ideas.
Good.
I'll send them your way.
That would be amazing. We definitely
I need a table too.
Yeah, that'd be great. We could do that. What's your table going to be?
Huh? Well, I mean, one for the podcast.
Are you going to podcast? That'd be great. You could do a live podcast and just talk to people and stuff too as they go by and go live a few times.
Idea. But I may have my FFLs by then.
Yeah. That would be awesome too.
Definitely for the podcast though.
So where we have the one gun right now that we're raffling, we have another surprise gun that we're raffling that we'll be doing there at the event. And I mean, if you got your FFL, we got somebody that we can send it to and clear it through the FFL too if they're not around here. So that'd be wonderful.
I might.
You always got your hands in something. So I didn't know what kind of table you wanted. If it was going to be dogs, if it was going to be, guns.
I hung up the dog life.
You're out of it?
I've been
You
out
are.
of
No, I know you've kind of been out of it, but you're never out of it
I
completely.
dabble here and there, but
That's,
I'm mostly out of it.
yeah,
I
most
haven't, I haven't trained for a while, probably 2.5 years.
really. I'll bring
Oh.
Santa up there and give you a run for your money.
And that's a wrap for today's episode of the Quadcast.
Remember, breaking stigma doesn't stop when the episode ends. We're building a movement, and you're a part of it. Stay strong, stay aware, and stay connected.
And this is the Quadcast, signing out.